Welcome, class. This is week 1 for Miss Jenna's writing class. This particular video is for all age groups and classes. And, did you catch my typo? Parents. So I'm going to start off, first of all, with saying if you find any typos in my videos or in your own reading or homework, textbooks, ads, I tell my students to show that error to their teacher or their parent, whoever's responsible for keeping your grades, and I give bonus points every time you find one, and these bonus points can be applied throughout the year. I love doing this because this, first of all, lets students know that everyone makes errors and everyone needs an editor. But secondly, it keeps your students aware, always looking, always editing, and it benefits them. So I think that's a great way to start off the semester. Students and parents, always look for those mistakes and be kind when you find them. All right. First of all, we're going to start off with what I like to do every week is a sniglet. A sniglet is a word that's not in the dictionary but should be. There are books of sniglets, there are websites of sniglets, but I have my own list here at the house, a gift from my nieces, so I'll be taking our sniglets from that book every week. The first one I'm going to share this week is dentocram. It's a noun. It's the foolish attempt to achieve a year's worth of brushing and flossing an hour before your dentist appointment. I love this because we just had our dentist appointments, and no doubt there was some extra brushing and flossing that morning. Dentocram. I hope you can add this to your vocabulary, these fun, silly words. Next, I'm going to share a Shakespeare quotation. Now, hopefully you have heard of Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a playwright, and he is considered the greatest contributor to the English language, one of the most famous writers of all time in the English language. And you may not know that you use Shakespeare every day. He invented a lot of vocabulary and a lot of phrases. And here is one of them. This one comes from the play Romeo and Juliet, and it is a wild goose chase. Have you ever used that phrase? It has come to mean when you find yourself in a situation where you're doing something silly or fruitless, we call it a wild goose chase. I was on a wild goose chase, something that never ends with something you want it to. So that's our Shakespeare for the day. And then I want to share our Proverbs for the day. Proverbs 9 through 10 says, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning." I really wanted to start here because the topic of our very first class has to do with being graded or receiving criticism or feedback on your papers. This is something that you're going to get all year, but you're truly going to get it in every class, every writing class, all the way through college, or if you go on to grad school or post-grad school, you will be receiving feedback. And it's important to decide how you're going to receive that feedback. Are you going to welcome it, take it, apply it, learn from it, or are you going to reject it? You're going to be angry and offended. And this is not just true about writing, but about life. I think as good learners, wise people are people who love criticism. That's difficult to do. Difficult for me. I'm an adult. It's always hard to hear that you've done something wrong or that something could be better. But I want to encourage you to decide at the beginning of the year, not just in writing class, but especially in writing class, that you will be someone who is wise, because when someone gives you instruction, you apply it. You learn from it. So the topic we're covering today has to do with feedback. we're going to learn what I like to call proofreading or editing marks. These are universal. They are used by graders and editors of writing all over, not just in America. But in the general English language, these are the markings that we use. So we're going to start off by looking at the first one. On the left-hand column, you'll see the explanation of the marks. You'll see the marks first. Not super neat, but I did them with a pencil, electronic pencil, Apple Pencil. In the left column, you see the explanation, and in the right column, I show you how to use them. So let's go through them quickly. The first one looks like a cursive L or a loop-de-loop. It means delete or take this out. If you see in the right column, the sentence reads, she loved to write. And as the grader, I would notice the extra to, and I'm going to add that mark by crossing through the word and then looping above it. That means take it out. And then, of course, when I would retype this, I would type only, she loved to write. The next one is a little caret or mountain. It means to insert. Insert means add something here. The sentence to the right reads, I excited about book. There are a couple of words missing, so we're going to add some carets on the bottom. And then, as you see right here, and then above it, that's where we add the little words. So I fixed it, I marked it, and I said, I am excited about this book. Back to the left-hand side. Now we have a caret and a line right here. Again, it's difficult, I know, to read with these markings. You'll see it might be difficult to read your grader's writing too. That one means to add space here. And if you look across at the example sentence, it reads, class will be fun. Will be is not a word. So we put a little caret underneath and we draw a line between will and be to show that there needs to be a space there. Our next symbol is this one over here that looks like a rainbow with another upside down rainbow underneath it. This one means no space or close the gap. If we look across at the example, bring your backpack. That word, those two words, back and pack, when they're referring to the backpack or a book bag, however you call it, it is a compound word. It's one word. So we're going to show the writer that they need to close it. So we're going to put a rainbow connecting the K and the P and an upside down rainbow connecting the K and P. And that shows the writer that they need to take out the space and close the gap. Our next symbol is this, we call it the paragraph symbol. It looks like a backwards P with two lines. It means add a new paragraph here. Now, if you're typing it, you would simply press the enter button and it would form a new paragraph. So let's pretend we're reading along and this is the end of the paragraph and it says then, or middle of the paragraph, it says then she died. Next year, well, we've changed subjects. So when we change a subject, we're going to change to a new paragraph. So I would insert a little paragraph sign there to show the writer that it's time to push the button enter and start a new paragraph. Our next symbol is this one here that looks like a sideways S. This means to transpose or to switch these words. The example on the right reads, not only did she have a dog, but also she had a cat. We would include this sideways S around the words that need to be switched. So this would tell the writer that it should say, but she also had a cat. So we switch those words. The next symbol over here on our left is made by taking 3 short parallel horizontal lines. This means to capitalize a letter. So if you look over to the right, we have the sentence, she is my pal. As all of you should know, The first letter of every sentence should always be capitalized. So we underline that letter with 3 short lines to show the writer to capitalize it. We have lowercase. Sometimes something's capitalized it shouldn't be. In this case, what we do is we circle the letter. Again, the example, he was my friend. Friend should not be capitalized. It is a common noun. So we're going to circle the F to show the writer to lowercase it. Then, sometimes we have a spelling error. Sometimes it's a really bad spelling. Sometimes it's just a synonym or the wrong word. When that happens, you circle the word and you see the letters SP. I like to write 5 times beside it because that tells my students that they have to write the correct word 5 times. This means there's a spelling error. So let's look at the example sentence. She has a pet deer. Oh dear, that is not how we spell deer. So we would circle it and write SP 5 times, and then I write the correct one, DEER. And then lastly, I have a question mark, which means I don't have any idea what this is. Because sometimes you're writing and something happens. You get up from your seat and you come back and you lose your train of thought or something gets deleted. So I made a silly example here. Sometimes I go through the foot. And in the context of the paragraph, we're going to pretend that that made no sense. So I would circle foot and put a question mark. That is a list of the most common proofreading editing marks. We may add to that in time to come, but for now, this is what you need. Students, I recommend that you take notes on this. If you need to go back and watch it again, please do, and practice this. For your assignment, you will be quizzed at the beginning of next week. You will have a quiz on these markings. And your assignment has to do with these markings. Okay, parents and 3rd and 4th graders. Parents, I suggest you practice editing on your own as well before you watch this part of the video, just to practice grading. But 3rd and 4th graders, I'm going to edit this while you watch. And then your job is to create a clean paragraph. So Jen is my friend. She likes to do the same things that I like to do. We both like to, we're going to put a space, like to read. We both like to bake pancakes. Sally is also my friend. Oh, new topic. So new paragraph. But she lives far away. She lives in Alaska with her family. I am thankful for my friends. FRIENDS. I'm going to say SP 5 times. For my older kids, I do not write the correct spelling. I have them look it up. Okay, parents, I hope that's a help to you. And 3rd and 4th grade, cannot wait for you to turn in a clean, revised paragraph. And actually, it will be 2 paragraphs when you're done for your parents.